Yeah, hi peeps, it's Tess back on the old squat box again. Just trying to get a wee bit more light. It's getting dark. It's getting dark now outside, and yeah, a bit more light on the subject. So yeah, it's Tess back and just ruminating again. You know, ruminating. Because I'm going to be sitting back a bit, so go there. I'm just ruminating again about stuff, you know. And obviously most of the religion I know is the Christian religion, and most of the religion I know is the Protestant, is the European Protestant, or Scottish and Northern Irish Protestantism, you know. Person myself, supposedly Church of Scotland, Fire and Brimstone, don't know what it would be called in America, Presbyterian I suppose, you know, Protestant Presbyterian. So I think that's what it would be called in America, Presbyterian. Not really sure, but I don't even know if they've got Presbyterian in America. But that would be, it would be the Fire and Brimstone. It would be the sins cast you down into the fires of hell, but you can be saved, you know, all that stuff, you know. And the Catholic religion, which is shit. I mean, it's almost like several different religions all in one. You know what I mean? But basically, they all extend from the idea of Christ. You know, Jesus. And the problem I have with that is, back in Jesus' time, when Jesus was being Jesus, there was a lot of stuff written about what Jesus was saying about stuff. But a lot of it is obviously and definitely to do with the things that were going on at that time. It was to do, well, for instance, why the hell would they turn around and say, give unto Rome what is Rome's, and, you know, give unto God what is God's? I mean, why would that be anything that a person of spiritualism would talk about? Why would they even mention the idea that, no, the body politic has its rights to demand something from you and you should give it up to them? I don't understand that. I mean, surely if he believed in God as his father and knew that he was there for the purpose he was there for, which was to actually save you from yourselves, surely he would never have talked about the body politic. And why would he even mention things like prostitution, you know, money lending? I mean, these are common everyday activities of the human being, which were never ever going to die away. He would never get rid of them. So why did he go into the church with his scourge and tip tables of the money changers and money lenders? I mean, why would he do that? I mean, these are things that even today we realise in our society. We may not like the amount of interest that money lenders charge people, and we may even designate a certain limit above which it's illegal to charge said interest rates on money that you lend to a person. Thus we have illegal money lenders, they are above that legal limit, and we can take them to court if we catch them and somebody will, you know, stand up as witness to them. I'm sure they probably had that back in Jesus' time as well, and so these were perfectly legal money lenders. After all, they were lending money within the confines, within the walls of the church, which probably meant that the church was looking over their shoulder and making a bit of profit from it. So why did Jesus go in there and with this scourge and beat them and tip their tables? I don't understand that. It doesn't seem to be a message which the church should be trying to pass on. It's a political message. It really is a political message, and it actually takes religion into the law, which most civilised nations try to discourage. We try to have a separation of church and state because we understand that theocracies invariably descend into the choice of believe what we say, don't doubt us, don't question us, or we will use the law to discourage you from it. Not that we will argue with you and put our best arguments forward for our views. No, we will use the law to make sure that you can't disseminate information which is against our view and our word of what we believe is the truth of life, you know. This is the problem with it. And here's the thing as well. Why is it that so many religions of the modern age talk so much about stuff that the people they promote as being the most devout, the most idolised, the most important inside their religion? They often end up spending most of the time talking about stuff that these people never talked about. For instance, Jesus never discussed abortion. Never. Never ever discussed abortion. Jesus. Never said it was illegal. Never discussed it. Never thought it was a question that needed to be talked about. Discussion never raised ever in Jesus' life. Yet fundamentalist Christians, Christians who believe in Jesus as a walking, talking, part of God. Not just like someone connected, not like, Samson or Delilah and Moses. I mean, no, Jesus, actually part of God, sent down to earth. Never talked about abortion. Never said it was good, bad, or felt indifferent about it. Why are they so damned about making sure it's not a thing that's done today? What's it got to do with them? I mean, Jesus never talked about it. Why are they going on so much about it? I've never understood that. Another thing, ghosts, spirits, evil things, demons. Basically, people being possessed. Don't remember anything that Jesus ever said about possession, demons, ghosts. I don't remember. Oh. Sorry about that. Just something off my desk. It's just a key ring. Don't remember. I hope that didn't disturb. That didn't frighten you didn't think that was a spirit or a ghost coming into your room, did you? That loud noise. Because I hear that loud noises disturb people. There's another thing. I've never heard anybody say that loud noises are something that you've got to worry about for your soul. I mean, loud noises. Oh, you should jump out your skin because it's obviously the devil or something evil. No, Jesus never said anything about that either. So why are we scared of loud noises? Why do we get startled from bangs, hisses, you know what I mean, stuff like that? Well, it's certainly not because ghosts hiss. I mean, I've never heard anybody state that, no, you can always tell there's a ghost in the room because you hear hissing. You know what I mean? Ghosts always have a hissy fit, and therefore you should be very, very scared of, hissy ghosts. I've never heard that. Jesus never said it, right? Allah never said it, you know what I mean? Buddha never said it. Muhammad never said it, you know what I mean? And I've never heard any Jews say that, no, hissing is a definite sign of upset ghosts and you've got to watch out. You know what I mean? I've never heard anybody say that in religion. And yet, people are scared of the hissing sound. And it's not just to do with escaping gas or escaping steam. No. We are inherently programmed in our brains that hissing is a danger sign. It's a sign to be fucking still and quiet. Why? Well, you've only got to look into nature and see the way that other animals react to, said hissy noises. Maybe not so much apes and monkeys. I mean, most of what they do is make lots of noise, jump about and scream to let other people know, other monkeys know that, no, they've seen a fucking snake, a danger, something's going to fucking eat you, you know what I mean? So, but why would we have this idea of being silent? I think it comes from an even deeper memory. An even deeper memory, beyond being monkeys. Back to when we had an ancestor that might have been much smaller, much quicker, lived nocturnally, and his life could depend on being perfectly still and silent for short periods of time when they heard the hissing noise of a reptile nearby. Not necessarily a snake. What's if other reptiles hiss? What's if other lizards use a hissing sound, you know what I mean? Or it could be the rasping sound of their armoured sort of scales against rock and branches. Maybe that is similar to the hiss that we associate with snakes. Maybe it's not a hissing sound but a rasping sound that we remember. But I do believe it from a way back then, back when we were small, tiny, little rat-like animals, that sound would have meant danger. But today, I mean, hissing sound? I hear a hissing sound and I think, oh, that's escaping air or from a tyre, or that's, you know what I mean? It's not exactly something I fear for my life because of, but it can still put a shiver down me sometimes, you know. It can instill me the fear of life threatening. Like when I was working on oil rigs, anything hissing meant a leak. You know what I mean? And that could be a leak from a very high pressure container which was about to blow up and fucking kill me, so hissing when I was on oil rigs, bad, very, very bad, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I never ever thought of a gigantic snake sneaking about the oil rig about to eat me or bite me, you know what I mean? I seen it as high pressure about to escape suddenly, drastically, and perhaps kill me and everybody on board. So hissing was a bad fucking thing on oil rigs. But we still see it as a bad thing even sitting in our homes. Even if you're out camping you hear hissing, you think, what the fuck? That's some size of a fucking snake if it's hissing like that. And then you find out it's your fucking gas canister and it's filling the fucking tent with gas, and you better fucking throw the thing out and air the tent out before you light a cigarette and fucking blow yourself up. That's also dangerous, you know what I mean? Anyway, I think I'm belaboured the point of hissing and not mean snakes, and we have an inbuilt thing about a hissing or rasping sound which we immediately think is a dangerous, non-normal fucking sound, I mean, we don't think the sound of chirping fucking grasshoppers is dangerous, or cicadas, whatever it is, you get that tweet, 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 tweet fucking sound all over the fucking, the subtropical fucking continent. And yeah, we don't see it as dangerous, this chirping fucking noise, you know what I mean? But hissing? Hissing. Got to fucking find out what that hissing is, because hissing can be dangerous. I need to know what it is, or I can't settle down. It disturbs us, hissing sound. You know what I mean? We don't get upset with the croak of frogs. Well, it might piss us off that they're going to croak for fucking hours and not going to get sweet, but they don't instill us with this feeling of danger. That, a gigantic frog is going to shoot its tongue through my fucking open window and stick to me and pull me out of my bed and eat me. I don't imagine a frog 20 foot fucking tall going around croaking and eating people. And there's another thing as well, the sound of a wasp, a bee, or a fly, zzz, is it a mosquito that's going to fucking sting me and give me cholera or fucking, typhoid or fucking some, quite insane fucking disease that I'm going to die horribly from in the next 6 weeks? Or is it just a bee or a wasp that's going to sting me and give me incredible pain for fucking 1.3 fucking seconds till I fucking squash it, and then, piss me off, you know what I mean? Make me angry, unless I'm allergic, in which case I go into fucking anaphylactic shock and fucking die on the floor before they can fucking get to me. It's like, yeah, so there's dangers there, but when I hear a buzzing sound, I'm not allergic to bee stings or wasp stings. I've never been stung by what do you call it? I can't remember the name of the fucking thing, but the big gigantic fucking flying things in South America and Africa. Anyway, terribly, horribly. But even them, I mean, they're not. They can't kill you one sting. I hear. No, it's incredibly painful. You get swelling. There's some snakes that will bite you as well. So why are we so scared of hissing when there's some snakes that bite? All you get is a bit of swelling and fucking pain. You know what I mean? Your flesh doesn't rot off your bones with every fucking snake. It's just certain kinds of fucking snakes that will rot the flesh off you, and you'll survive that. There's only a very few snakes in the world that if they bite you, you'll die within fucking 20 minutes. Very few will kill you in 5 fucking steps. Even although some of them are called 3-step or 5-step snakes, there's very few of them will actually kill you in that amount of time. Even if they're named that, they don't really kill you in that amount of time. And yeah, it's very, very strange. In fact, there's some funguses which you will eat them. Some fungus, mushrooms. There's some fungus in mushrooms. They make no sound whatsoever. Look perfectly fucking edible. In fact, some of them look exactly like stuff that you would pick and eat. And unless you're really well skilled in differentiating between certain mushrooms and stuff, you could very easily pick one which looks perfectly succulent and edible, eat it, and it won't do anything for 4 hours, and then it stops your liver from working, and you die, and there's absolutely no cure for it. And once you've eaten it, basically that's it. Once you've eaten it, that's it. Even if someone seen the mushroom there 5 seconds after you ate it, I mean, there's basically not very much you can do about it. You can induce vomiting and stuff, but you're not going to get all that poison out of you. You're still going to be pretty fucking ill, and that is probably going to do enough damage to weaken your liver, so you might not die that day, but 14 days later, pan bread. That's just, and mushrooms don't hiss, they don't croak, they don't growl. Yeah. I just find it really funny, knock that fucking shit off again. At least it's on the envelope. But I find it really funny that people see this, ghosts. Where did religion come up with ghosts, and why did they say that the devil is connected to a serpent? Why is hissing and serpentine things connected to the devil? It certainly would have been connected to danger. When you're out hunting, be aware of the serpent, because you might be looking for your game to bring food back. You might not be looking out for the dangers, and so you've got to be aware of the dangers to you as well as looking for the animal you're wanting to kill. All these things were things that we knew more about when we were hunter-gatherers, or more likely just hunters, Today, not so much. I mean, even hunters go out today, man. They know some of the dangers they should be watching out for. Basically shooting fucking each other in the face. Every fucking year. Load of fucking hunters getting shot by their fucking best mates. Might be because they want to steal their wife or their girlfriend from them. Might be because they owe them money from last year's fucking, hunt that they bet on and they haven't paid them yet. Might just be an accident, who fucking knows? And who can tell? And these are all good Christian fucking people. Yeah. Jesus never said anything about hunting either. Why is people in America so insanely attached to, the Second Amendment? It's not in the Bible. The Second Amendment is not in the Bible. The First Amendment's not in the Bible. Absolutely not. The First and Second Amendment are not in the Bible. In fact, I don't know any amendments that are actually in the Bible. Yet these crazy religious people are the most adamant that they can, the Bible is the structure, the main source of the start of writing, the Constitution of America. And I don't see it. Where the fuck does Jesus talk anywhere about freedom of religion, freedom of owning, guns, freedom of journalism? I mean, where does Jesus say anything about that? Why does Jesus say that black people and white people are equal? Do you remember the Bible? Yeah, that part where it says you can own slaves and this is how you can mark them, and you can treat them this way and that way, and you remember the Bible. That's the Bible. That's the book that Jesus is in. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jesus comes for that same book. I don't remember anything in there that could possibly even slightly be attached to the American Constitution and say that the Bible was some sort of, instigation for the writing of it. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. There's no mention of ghosts in the amendments of the American Constitution. There's very few mentions of ghosts. In fact, I don't think there's any mentions of ghosts. There's mentions of zombies. I don't think there's any mentions of ghosts in the good book, as they call it. I don't, thinking back, I don't think there's a single mention of a ghost in the whole Bible. So why are so many religious people so fascinated with the fact of graveyards and ghosts and spirits and stuff like that? It's not mentioned in the Bible. Jesus didn't talk about it. Very, very strange. Strange people, religious people. And it shows you how they've changed over the 2 centuries since supposedly Jesus was about and talking about stuff that was supposed to be pertinent. A lot of it actually, when you look at it, quite political for the time. Although now looked at as just something that was said and not to be discussed and not really to be looked at. You know that what is it? The guy walking one way gets mugged and the other guy walking out, and they're supposedly enemies for generations, and then he helps them. He's the only one. The Good Samaritan. The story of the Good Samaritan. That's a very political fucking statement that Jesus is making. It's very, very political. It's not seen as a political statement. It's seen as a brotherly friendship fucking statement. But it's not. That's not the way it was written. It's written as a political statement. It's written as a don't let the fuckers grind us down. Don't let them divide us. Together we're stronger. If we work together, we're stronger than them bastards, the Romans. That's what the story is. It's a message that the Scots gave to people as well. The Scots were a divided nation. We were a group of fucking clans. And the message we gave is, don't let the bastards grind us down. We've got to come together and defeat this, this enemy that's the enemy of all of us. Then we can go back to fucking, cutting each other's throats. But today we've got to come together and fight against this common enemy. That's the message that Jesus and the Bible was, well, the people in the Bible at the time were trying to spread with the Good Samaritan story. That's the message. We may have been enemies for generations. Your father and my father fought each other, but today we have a common enemy. Let's kick that bastard's ass first. Then we can go back to steal each other's sheep and fucking each other in the ass, you know what I mean? Like we've done for generations. Basically, that's what the Bible stories are. They're not about stuff for all time. These are stories about what was happening at the time. It's why, I know I'm going off track here, and maybe I'll do a video on this. But you've also got to remember, when they talk about the greatest fucking seer and mystic, in all time, you know what I mean? He was talking about what was happening at his time in France, Anyway, I'm starting to run out of time. I don't want this to go on forever as well, But yeah, history, Hitler, but, I suppose Hitler could be Hitler. Maybe he made a few, maybe, I don't know, maybe he needed glasses and he was viewing into his copper bucket, and the ripples in the water made one letter look like another. I don't know, but I just don't see it. So, religion and ghosts, religion and evil, religion and hiss, religion and snakes, religion and the devil, the underworld. Fucking hell. Religion started in the dark. This is what amazes me. Religion started in the dark. If you think back to when you were living in a time of with your visual animals, you're walking across a plain with occasional clumps of trees and rocks, safety zones, you know. You can see during the day because you're a visual animal, you know, but at night it just gets dark. You can't see that in front of you, you know. You don't want to be on the ground. You do not want to be out in the open on the ground at night when animals who use fucking infrared vision or can see 10 or 100 times better than you, like cats and fucking other animals do, or reptiles do, you know what I mean? You don't want to be out there, man, when these things have got the advantage. You want to be up in a fucking tree or in a fucking cave with a rock in your hand, so they can only come in one way, and when they do come out you can fucking stone them with fucking rocks. You know what I mean? If you're in a tree, you can go out onto a branch that's so thin that they can't fucking come out onto, you know. That's how monkeys survive today. It's how we survived then, you know. And it's also probably where we evolved our idea of, you know, if I turn around and stamp my feet 3 times and say the magic words, you know, the magic name, I'll be protected. Agatha, 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 wow, 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 Agatha, 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 wow, wow, wow. The oba, oh, the oba, oh, the ah, the oba, oba, the oh, the oh, Agatha, Agatha, oh, the oh. You can make up any fucking weird rhyme. People did that back then. I remember we had a campfire. Oh, how beautiful that was. Put the campfire at the cave entrance. Other animals who didn't know about fire, they wouldn't cross that. You keep feeding it all night. Keep that fire fucking going. Everybody inside the cave is safe, cosy, cuddly, you know. Apart from the fleas, of course, and the nits. You know what I mean? Must have been terrible back then, man. Fucking fleas and nits, you know what I mean? Didn't have any carbolic soap, you know what I mean? Must have been a fucking itchy, scratchy time. But safe for getting eaten by snakes, lions, and stuff like that. It's lions you were, man. And maybe those noises that passed the fire in the night. When you hadn't seen the kind of animals that were out there for, you know, several generations, because you'd spent night time in the cave with the fire, with the light. And anybody who went out, invariably, some of them didn't come back, and when you found their remains, oh, it looked like something horrible had happened to them. Surely just an animal wouldn't do that to you. We butcher animals, we cut them up, but this, it just was torn apart and strewn and bits thrown here and there. What kind of animal would you eat like that? Obviously it would be a evil, horrible demon, you know, fighting our bits, and, you know, probably did that to him while he was still alive to make him suffer. Oh, you know, all that, you know, yeah, you make up mythologies, you know what I mean? Whereas we all know that an animal's first opportunity, the first thing that an animal does when it attacks you is to try to eliminate the possibility of you injuring it, and it basically tries to make sure you're pretty much dead before it starts eating. Unless it's in a pack, you see the animals who start eating the what do you call them, the buffaloes and stuff, you know, zebras, before they're actually dead. But I mean, a lot of the time that's not what happens. That happens some of the time, but a lot of the time they actually make sure that it's a younger animal. That's what happens with the larger animals. But the younger animals, they pretty much snuff them out before they start eating. You know what I mean? Because it's a single animal, it's bringing the kill back to its young. You can't trust the young in amongst the pride at the moment, because some of the pride might get just pissed off, like some people do here, you know what I mean, in our society, and end up, your kid gets fucking whacked for fucking, you know, playing with somebody's tail, you know. And that's a bit like us humans, isn't it? You know, somebody ends up, you know, oh, my kite went over that guy's fence, I'll just climb over and get it back, you know what I mean? And then I'll get shot with a fucking shotgun for being in his garden, you know what I mean? I didn't know it was a child. I just seen something moving out of it. Thought it was a skunk. Yeah, my kid looks like a fucking skunk, you prick, you know. But anyway, yeah, guns again, Second Amendment. Oh, I've got the right to shoot in my own backyard, even if it kills a kid. Kid shouldn't have been there. Kids should know better, the 5-year-old. They should have read some books and known it shouldn't be in, you know, my backyard, because the Second Amendment says I've got the right to shoot them. If a 5-year-old hasn't read the Second Amendment and known all its rights, you know what I mean, deserves to get shot, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, that's obviously the American fucking dream, isn't it? Anyway, Transvaal, motherfuckers.